Hello there, people. Welcome back to Mike's Magic Auto Car Detailing and Paint Enhancement. I just wanted to catch you guys up right quick. This will be relatively brief, and Mr. Terry, the owner of this vehicle, if he happens to be around and catches this video, if not, I'll tag him on it later so he can keep up with what's going on with his car all day long. I've been working on that area there some more again, and the top of this fender down in there all around that headlight. Remember, it was all taped off. I've taken the tape off, and these ridges that are down through here all the way back to that tape area there and down to the haven't done below there. Next, I'm going to be working on this part of this front fender, get all that done, and down below that emblem, which as you can see is all taped off. Whew. What I had to do on this one, says somebody's watching, That's always kind of gratifying, y'all. But what I ended up having to do was get my 3000 grit wet dry sandpaper out, particularly on that area right in there and this ridge line where, I don't know, it almost looked to me like it had been run through a car wash, which I hope not, but I don't know, unless it's from people brushing up against it as they walked along. But there was tons and tons of scratches there, and a lot of those cat scratches we talked about before. At least they blamed it on a cat, and it almost looks like it. But I had to literally go scratch by scratch by scratched area by scratched area by scratched. I didn't wet sand the whole thing. I just wet sanded the worst scratches, trying to get them out. And I'd say I got 95% of them. It's radically improved from what it was. Hey, Miss Susan, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I appreciate it a lot. But it was very tedious. Like I say, I've been working on this fender all day long. This fender, and I went back and tried to fix some of that bad clear coat that I showed y'all in a previous video. I improved it some, but as you can see, there's still some bad spots in there. But that's as good as it gets without re-clearing the whole thing or using the clear coat restorer. But you can see there was one area right here. It looked like that damn cat camped out here or something. I don't know. But there was some, I don't know if y'all can see those scratches in there. That's the line from the light, but there's like right in here. Let me see if I can get that. Yeah, see, there you go. I think y'all can see them now. Wet sanding, nothing. They're just too deep. But they have been minimized to a great degree. I mean, you have to get up close and catch the light just right to see those. I was disappointed I could not get them out altogether, but I'd say 98% of the scratches that were down along that curved ridge line there are pretty much gone. There's a few. I'm gonna have to squat down here so y'all can see them. Get down here. See, you can see like right in there. I don't know if y'all can see that. I'll try to, yeah, see now. I get the light just right. You got to catch the light just right, but those were deep, and there's a few others. So you cannot go that deep where you could, but you risk going through the clear coat. And what I'm trying to do is minimize these scratches as much as possible and preserve as much clear coat as possible. So what that means is some of these scratches will not go away even at this particular level of paint enhancement. Shoot, there's one right there. There's another one right there that didn't go away. That just aggravates me, but there's nothing I can do. There is another level of paint enhancement above this one, but that requires a whole different budget. And he didn't want to spend that much money on it. He's, you know, this car's going up for sale when I get done with it, so he was trying to stay within a budget to keep his profit margin right, I suppose. But what I did was use the 3000 grit sandpaper, and then I used, y'all seen this stuff before, the Sonax Max Cut compound with a orange Lake Country cutting pad. And then I had to switch to the black Lake Country polishing pads. That's black, very soft pad, very unaggressive. And then I used the Sonax Perfect Finish polish. Good stuff right there, folks. Good stuff. Has just a little bit of abrasive in it, but not a lot. And you remember on part of the roof and some of the other places I used the 3D one step with a hybrid pad and a wool pad, but that really wasn't appropriate here because those are on a 5-inch backing plate, and I really could not just get, I could have got these big spots, but it's so curvy, a 5-inch pad is pretty much a waste because you're only using about that much of it. And when you're working with the outside of a 5-inch or a 6-inch or even an 8-inch pad, it's turning way faster out there, and you're creating a lot of friction and a lot of heat to your clear coat. So that's why I dropped down to the 3-inch, mainly because of the curves and these little tight spots like right in here. So if you're using those big ones, Mr. Bob Cooley Sr., how's my old partner doing there, brother? Have you seen this car before, Bob? I've been working on this 1947 two-door sedan Cadillac. Look at all that, would you? It's crammed up in my garage right now, and I've been correcting the paint on this beast, Bob. This is a beast. You should go back and look at some of the other videos. I'll just pan around right quick for you and show it to you. It's a resto mod, Bob. It's got like a 463 or something like that V8 in it. Amazing car, amazing. It's a real pleasure to have something like this to work on. I think when I'm done, my customer is going to be very, very happy. Look at that, would you? Man, Bob. I've never seen one of these, not even in pictures, I don't think. I did just a little research on it out of curiosity, and I could only find 2 other ones besides this one. And those were all original. This is a resto mod. I mean, the whole car's been rewired. It's got all the modern amenities. It's had a console built for gauges and all that. Still got the original leather seats in it, but the previous owner, Bob, you can't say I got it covered up, but those floor mats are custom made. They have the Cadillac emblem embroidered onto them. And it had over $8,000 worth of about 6-8, I think he said, of re-chroming work done on it. So it's pretty bad. It's a nice car. He told me I could drive it. He said he didn't care. It's insured. But hell, Bob, I can't see over the top of that damn long hood. I'd be afraid to drive it. How do you drive something with that? And you're sitting down in there and the front end's tilted up. How do you see over that damn hood? And Toby, the other day when I lifted the hood, you can see the engine bay in one of the other previous videos. If you want to go back, hit my YouTube channel up, check my profile, and you'll see a link there to it where all this whole playlist is. I thought I was going to have to get somebody to help me lift the damn hood up. It's so heavy. It's got 2 helper springs on both sides, kind of like your garage door has. And I still couldn't hardly get it up. But I did this half of the hood the other day, and I did that area there. And today I was working on this top part of this fender here. Long story short, now I had to wet sand it, then I had to compound it, and then I polished it. It was a pain all day long, just on this part of the fender, just down to the character line right down in here. You can't really see it on film, I don't think, but it kind of breaks off there. But there's not a flat spot on this car. It's all curves. Even the spots that look flat, like that door, they're not really flat. It curves down slowly but gently. Not a flat spot on here, I don't think. Which, if you've ever done much buffing, you know, that makes it a pain, a pain, a pain. But it is a beautiful car. Man, I've enjoyed working on it, and I'm going to continue to enjoy working on it for God knows how long. I mean, I've been on it for days and days now. Got it all cleaned up and stripped, and the paint decontaminated and all that stuff, strip washed. And man, then I started working on that half of the hood. You look at the previous videos, I had to tape everything off, had to tape off that pinstripe there, which goes all the way down, has some little curly cues in it and stuff as you go further back. So even the pinstripe is kind of a work of art, but somebody had buffed this thing before and kind of messed it up, and they were using apparently retail level wax, and it had wax all in it, all the cracks everywhere. Everywhere you could get wax residue there was. So it took me a day to get rid of all that. And so that's why I like to tape stuff like the chrome off. It was taped off. It's taped off around the headlights. You can still see some tape. I've taken this part off because I'm done with that. But I do it for two reasons: to keep from such a big mess getting in there, and it also, I have to protect things like that pinstripe from a buffer, and you don't want to leave buffer marks on that old chrome trim on the hood. It's not really replaceable. So if you mess it up, it's messed up forever. And you don't want to burn, you know, the edges and that kind of stuff, and like I say, prevent crap from getting down in there. As you can see, I'm getting ready to do down here, so I've taped all this off down there. That's the Cadillac emblem, all chromed out and everything. So I taped the edges of that off so I don't hit it with the buffer. It's easy to do that by mistake. But this thing, Toby, was all scratched up. The garage they were keeping it in, there was a cat kept getting in there, and the cat would get on it, and there's cat scratches all over this thing. Some of them are very deep. Some of them I'm not going to be able to get out, and some of them I'm only going to be able to minimize. But I'd say 95% of the scratches on these parts I've done and up here on this part of the hood are all gone. But if you want to see some of the tools I've been using and that sort of thing, just go back and watch the previous videos to this. I think I'm up to part 9 now. But I'm going to get back to work now, you guys, and I appreciate y'all watching. Hit that thumbs up button and make a comment for me. If you got a question, put it down in the comment section down there about what I'm doing, how I'm doing, what I'm doing it with, that sort of thing. I'll be happy to help anybody I can if I can give them some guidance. But a lot of this tools and products I've been using is not really for a beginner, but I can tell you some substitute steps with substitute equipment that you can learn on. Okay? I've been using probably 4 different buffers to this point, using 2 different size rotaries, 2 different size dual action. One's a Pro 15mm throw, blah, 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 blah. I don't care about all that. And a nano polisher to get in all those little bitty spots. And an extension on the end of one of my rotaries. But anyway, appreciate you guys. It's good to see you. Good to see y'all. So I will be signing off now. And I'll see you in my next episode. Bye.